Hello captains, and welcome to this Prepar3D video. I thought it's about time I switch gears from explain and do this Prepar3D video. So today we're going to be flying from Athens to Vienna aboard this Austrian Airlines Boeing 777-200. So without further ado, captains, let's go ahead and jump into the flight deck and prepare the aircraft for departure. Welcome to the flight deck, captains. Let's get things ready here. Ideas on. And let's see here. Passenger signs on. Beacon can go on. And everything else is fine. We can start the left pump forward. Alright, let's begin programming the FMC. And just before that, let's go ahead and set up our fuel for this flight. So we need about 17,000 kilos of fuel for this trip. There we go. Everything else is fine. And we're going to wait for the luggage to load. And we'll basically be good to go. FMC, position initialization. We are at Lima Golf Alpha Vector. Copy that. Right there. Perfect. Okay, so the company route has been saved. Lima Golf Alpha Vector to Lima Oscar Whiskey Whiskey. Alright, activate and execute. And for this flight today, we're going to be departing runway 03 right. And let me search for the... That's the one, Lima 1 Tango departure. And we execute that. And for our arrival today into Vienna, oops, it's the all but one whiskey, and we're going to do an ILS runway 34 through the BAL3 November transition. Let's execute. And let's take a quick look at our plan just to make sure there are no discos, and it looks fine to me. Okay, and let's do performance initialization. 0 fuel, that gives us a gross weight of 202, and reserves, we'll just say 1. Now, according to the flight plan, we need to do flight level 400, and the index for this flight is going to be 85. Okay, let's continue. Takeoff data. We'll do a flaps 5 today for departure. Center of gravity is there. That gives us a V1 of 137, V rotate of 137, and V2 of 153. So let's set that to 153. Flight director on. And let's set this all the way to 40,000 feet. I hope the plane can... I'm not sure if the 777 can go that high. I'm not sure, I read somewhere that the service ceiling is 39,000 feet. But I could be mistaken. So we'll see what happens anyway. Alright, so let's turn on our hydraulics. Oops. Alright, and now we should be able to set our trim, which is 2.5. Strange. Okay. There we go. Trim is set. Let's see here. Okay, Okay, everything's fine here. Alright, so let's take a look at our plan real quick. Likes. Right, so that's our departure. Make a turn, come back, and then go all the way. Alright, beautiful. Alright, we'll switch back to map, and we'll increase that later on during the flight. Alright, captains, we are now ready to call the pushback truck and get our engine started, so let's go ahead and do that. Let's see here. First thing, let me go ahead and close the doors. Close, 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 and then we need to close the cargo doors as well. Arm that, arm this, and that one as well. Return. Right, let's set the parking brake, and let's remove the ground connections, and now we're ready to call the pushback truck. Okay, let's start all the... I think we have fuel in center. Perhaps not. Okay. Right, everything looks alright here. Okay, let's call the pushback truck. Okay. Okay, looks like we're still waiting for the baggage. Let's take a look here. Looks like I closed the doors before. Yeah. So anyway, we'll wait for this guy to leave. Looks like he's getting away now. And there's the pushback truck.
Flight deck, this is ground crew. Stand by for pushback. Locking gear cap.
Before I forget that, I'm just going to go ahead and turn it on.
Captain, ground crew here. Departure check is complete. Nose gear steering disconnected. Bypass pin is inserted. Use parking brakes.
Right. Parking brake.
Okay, here we go. We are clear behind the aircraft and safety start engines at your discretion.
Alright, that's good enough. Let's go ahead and give it some fuel. And let's go ahead and start the left engine. Right, and now we can give some fuel to the left engine as well. Alright, our gear is being unlocked now, so we should...
Vehicle disconnected. Bypass pin removed. Nose wheel steering is worked out.
Alright, good stuff. Alright, so we have a good start on both engines. We can now turn off the APU. And let's come over here, turn our taxi lights on. Logo, that's fine. And what else do we need to do? Okay, so... auto brake to reject a takeoff, and let's set our flaps. Flaps 5 for departure.
And Captain, left is clear, right is clear. We're all clear behind the aircraft.
Perfect. Okay, full up, full down, full left, full right, and pedal full left, pedal full right, and hand signals have been received. So we are good to taxi. Let's release the parking brake. Alright, Captain, so we are taxiing now to runway 03 right. That's runway right here, so we'll make a final stop before departure. Perfect. Alright, let's go ahead and make our final stop here. Let's set the parking brake. Okay. Let's see, doors on auto, no smoking, everything's fine here. Lights are on, strobes can go on. Everything else is fine here. Alright, we are ready for departure. Let's release the parking brake. And just give it a little bit of power. There we go. Let's get lined up with the runway here. Alright, cabin is ready. And we are cleared for takeoff. Full power is set.
V1, rotate.
Rotate.
V2.
And positive rate. Gear up. Alright, captains, so we continue to climb. Let's go ahead and engage the autopilot. LNAV and VNAV are now active. Captains, we continue our climb to flight level 400, and everything appears to be normal at the moment. As you can see, our speed is climbing. We were at a restriction area of 230 knots, and the speed is now increasing. Of course, it's all managed by the aircraft. I honestly think that I haven't given P3D enough of my time lately. I think it deserves more of my time and really making videos in P3D. I know a lot of you are very fond of P3D, and I am too. So I decided to do a couple of videos in P3D. And of course I am anticipating now the A320X, I believe, by FS Labs. I saw the first look video by Matt Davis, and he's done a great job with his first look video, parts 1 and 2. Very, very well done aircraft from what I can see. High fidelity, the texture resolution, the work that has gone into this aircraft, the sounds, everything is really modeled to perfection. So I really can't wait. I saw on the FS Labs website that the aircraft is going to be available for P3D soon. Now how soon, that remains to be seen, but I can't wait to get my hands on that aircraft and fly it in P3D. Alright, so we are now passing 31,000 feet and approximately 312 knots, and we will continue our climb to 400. So once we reach our cruising altitude, I'll check back with you, captains. Enjoy the flight. Alright, so we just leveled off at 40,000 feet, which is our final cruising altitude today. And we should expect to arrive into Vienna in about 1 hour and 45 minutes from now. So enjoy the flight, captains, and I will see you right before our approach into Vienna. Welcome back, captains. We are approaching now Vienna. As you can see, we are now 8 nautical miles from Obuti, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start our descent a bit early. I think if we go here, it says top of descent is on 130 nautical miles. And I don't think at 40,000 feet we will have enough time to descend through from 40,000 to 3,000, which is the final approach altitude to intercept the localizer. So it looks like we've got some thunderstorms here as we approach Vienna. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start our descent shortly to 20,000, and at the assigned top of descent we will begin our descent to the further restrictions. So the first one is above 13,000 and the next one is below 18 and above 8. So here's what we're going to do. At about 100 nautical miles from the next waypoint, we will begin the descent to 20,000 feet, and hopefully by then we'll be fine. We can descend this distance, I think, before we reach Vienna. As you can see, the area here in the vicinity is pretty cloudy. It looks like there's some rain in the area as well. But at 40,000 feet, of course, we're not going to experience any rain. So we continue our flight, and in just about 36 nautical miles we'll descend to 20,000 feet, and from that point forward I think we should be fine. Alright, captains, let's go ahead and check our flight plan here real quick. 76. Alright, let's check 64. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to reset the MCP altitude to 20,000 feet. And let's go here, and I'm going to say descent now and execute. Alright, so we've begun our descent now, and hopefully we won't be... There is some bad weather according to the weather radar right about in this area, so we'll go in the middle, so we shouldn't be affected. Some really bad weather right there, but we should be okay. Yeah, look at that. So we're going right in the middle, so we should be fine. So we continue our descent to 20,000 feet. We are, as you can see, very close to top of descent. This was the original point at which we should have started the descent. Only I don't think that it's enough for us to descend 40,000 feet. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to reset the MCP altitude to 8,000. And we should pass through the restriction at 13,000, so I think we should be fine here at 13,000. We'll definitely be above 13, and hopefully we'll be able to clear the altitude and we reach 3,000. We need to reach 3,000 in order to intercept the localizer. So hopefully everything will be fine. Let's take a quick look here at our speeds. So 292 here, and then 292 there, 260. We might need to adjust those speeds. But we'll worry about that as we approach Vienna. For the time being, I think we should be fine. Let me increase the range here a bit to see what's going on there. Yeah, we're right there. So we're on a about 1,400 feet per minute. Looks like some more bad weather ahead of us right there. But we should be fine. I really like the clouds in Active Sky 2016. I think it's a big improvement over Active Sky Next. The clouds look very realistic. Beautiful. Alright, captains, we are now approaching about 12,000 feet. As you can see from the weather radar, the weather is absolutely terrible here in Vienna. We are at about 250, 260 knots, something like that, which we need to be at 250 exactly at below 10,000 feet. So let's go ahead and take a look. As you can see, this is our approach into Vienna. Let's take a look here. We need to be above 8,000 and then above 6,000 until we reach Whiskey Whiskey 973 and then we need to be here at 4 and then finally at 3,000 before we intercept the localizer. So we should be fine, and I think what I'm going to do in a minute is I'm going to reduce our rate of descent as we approach the transition altitude in Austria is 5,000 feet, and so we are now closing in at 10,000. Alright, let's go ahead and turn our lights on. Very bad weather in this area. So hopefully we can go through these pockets of really bad weather. Yeah, so 8,000 is fine. We're crossing 10,000, and what we can do now, yeah, speed brake's complaining. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to reduce our rate of descent now to 1,300 feet per minute. And of course we can expect some turbulence, some very heavy clouds. Okay, so we're coming now at about 8,000 feet, and what we can do at this point is reduce our rate of descent to 1,000. Let's just make sure. Okay, we've got about 11 nautical miles, and then we need to be above 6,000. So what I'm going to do in just a moment, I'm going to reset the altitude again. The weather is absolutely terrible, man. That's dreadful. Alright, so we are reaching now 8,000. I still got nautical. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to reset this to 6,000. And let's begin descending at about 1,800 feet per minute. 800 feet per minute. This weather is dreadful. Hopefully we'll be able to see the runway, but from the looks of it, it's going to be quite rough. Alright, so we're going to begin our turn now for our approach into Vienna. As you can see, the visibility is pretty terrible. And we're going to reduce our speed now to 240 knots. So let's go ahead and configure the aircraft for our approach. Alright, so let's see, flaps 30 at 136. Okay, that is done. Yeah, that's our approach. And as you can see, the weather is just terrible, man. Alright, let's set auto brake to 3, since the runway might be slippery. And let's see here, what else do we want to do? Alright, so let's reset this to 4,000. And we'll stay at 6. Alright, so as we approach our turn here, I'm going to go ahead and reset this to 3,000 and begin the descent at 800 feet per minute. And as we reach the transition altitude, there we go. So we begin our turn now, and we are still at 240 knots. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to reduce speed to all the way to 216 knots. Alright, let me check our speed. 136, flaps 30. Alright, and approach. Alright, we are some 14 nautical miles now from the runway, so I'm going to go ahead and reduce speed to 170 knots. Right, and flaps 5. Alright, captains, as you can see now, the needle started moving. Right, we are almost there now. Alright, and let's reduce speed to 150 knots. And flaps 15. And gear down. Looks like there's another aircraft right over there, which is inbound to land. But hopefully we'll be fine. So 136 is our approach speed. Right. And let's extend flaps. Flaps 20. That's what happens when you don't use the built-in ATC. Alright, and let's go ahead and reduce speed to 145. And flaps 25. Alright, and 136. And flaps 30. Alright, we are almost there now. And it's my plane. touchdown. And reverse screen. Oh, the wind is just so strong. All right, welcome to Vienna, captains. All right, captains, let's just go ahead and make a quick stop here so that we can take a look at our landing, and then we'll taxi to the gate. Alright, Captain, so our landing was okay. I think it took me a while to put the nose wheel down. Alright, so let's taxi to an empty spot. This Fly Tampa scenery looks amazing. It's been there, of course, for a very long time. It's not a new scenery, but I still really very much enjoy flying in and out of Vienna in P3D. I think the scenery is just really done to perfection. I remember when I flew out of Vienna sometime, I think a couple years back. I think the airport is a very faithful recreation of the actual airport. Of course, this is something you always expect from Fly Tampa. They've got Fly Tampa Dubai is another airport that I really like from Fly Tampa. All of their airports, I think, are very well done. And by the way, we flew from a Fly Tampa Athens. So this is a successful flight from a payware to another payware airport in P3D, which was something that was not possible with P3D version 2, for example. So I'm very pleased that we are now able to do this in P3D, something that we never were able to do in the past. Here we go. I think this is where we're going to park our aircraft. Right, let's set the parking brake. Captains, I hope that you've enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it for you. Hopefully, I'll be able to do more P3D videos in the near future. Until next time, please take care of yourselves and each other. I will see you all very soon. Bye-bye for now.